What's up guys, Hades here. Patch 2.7.5 is out and it is a big one. There is so much to digest here. I'm gonna break it all down, give you some tips and tricks to make sure you're prepared for what's coming in this patch. So let's jump right into it. First, we're getting Immortal specializations. Now this is a fantastic update. It's gonna be huge. It's kind of like the dragon skills in the cave, right? When you open up the skills, you get 3 options. They're all a little bit different. It makes a dragon do something. Now I hope they're not as one-dimensional as this, as everyone pretty much figured out one is better than the other in almost all circumstances. But if it's done well, this could be an absolute game changer. Now it's only going to be available for servers 2 and beyond. It will be for all legendary and epic. That's red and orange if you didn't know. Now, when you're selecting them, you're going to get the 3 options, like I said, and there's going to be a few pieces to it. First, we're getting a new well of time added, and they're going to give these things called master marks, and I believe there's another one. But when you're upgrading, you're going to need those master marks, and the key thing is you're going to need immortal fragments. Now, going back into the game, when we look at immortal fragments, if you haven't been saving them, absolutely save them. They're here. You should have them locked. You should have been storing them. You know, if I want to upgrade Himiko, I've got 700 of her locked and loaded, ready to go. If you haven't been saving, start saving now. The sooner the better. You might get lucky. Now, we also got the updates in Mysterium, where there's now availability of a lot of new hero, or you know, a lot of the staple heroes. If you didn't already have these, you can pick them up there. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that because you can also get them from the market. Market's going to be a great spot to get. Now here's the big tip for this video, is actually the shop in Golden Path. Some of the best immortals are here, and believe it or not, but this is actually really good value when you just need raw fragments. Here's why. It takes 200 coins to get 60 Trajan fragments. Well, if you reach to max level, getting 200 only costs about 3,000 gems, which is an absolute steal. I would definitely use these functions. I think these are some of the best functions you can get in the game for specific heroes right now. Now, jumping back into the patch note, you will be able to reset the specialization with something called Master's Insight, which is different than Master's Mark, but I believe you get both in the Well of Time. When you reborn an Immortal, it will not affect this new system that we have. So there'll be 2 different resets, essentially. Now, Elite Campaign, this is what we're talking about. You challenge the campaign, doesn't cost SP, but there is a daily limit challenge. So I believe there'll be a way to make it a little faster, probably a pay to win method. If not, it's just a blocker so people can't get maximum strong on the first day, right? So this is a good thing. After clearing the highest progress level in the Elite Campaign, you can raid it using challenge attempts. And again, those challenge attempts reset at midnight UTC. And the next thing is the new Immortal, Ninetales. This is what I was talking about when I said meta shifting. So Ninetales is a brand new support Immortal. What she does essentially is she cleanses all allies of bites, serious wound, dot effects, increases, and okay, let's break it down by this. Cleanses, bite. This is Poseidon, this is Kin and Khan, and dot is Blade Vortex. Essentially, those are the main things that are in the game right now. Well, she is going to hard counter Poseidon, who is the best carry in the game right now. She's gonna make you know, hybrid even less effective, and she's gonna kind of crush Blade Vortex. She takes pretty much everything that Theodora does, but does it better. Now it gets worse or better depending on your frame of mind. If you were going to get her, I'm gonna highly recommend her off just the stats here. You're not going to get her. She's going to change the meta in a big way, and I'm going to have to go in a whole new video to break her down. But she increases trigger chance by a max of 10%. Now, this is also pretty interesting because it's going to make some thresholds really crazy. We already have Abundant Spirit, that's 10%. We're going to now have Nine Tails, that's another 10%, that's 20% total. And then there's a handful of other ways to get the percent. For example, like Wu's artifact gives 10%. So now Wu's ultimate with all three of these is going to be 90% chance to proc, right? So it could be very, very game changing for some certain immortals. Another thing she does is she heals the lowest immortal anytime someone on your team uses an ultimate skill. So let's say you're in a fight, she ults, the next six seconds all your other immortals ult, so they're gonna get a 230% heal 4 times on the lowest target. So she's part healer, part buff, part debuff. She kind of has it all. I'm gonna break down how she changes the meta in a totally different game. Just know that this will be a very powerful immortal. Moving on to the star of popularity. This skin is absolutely broken. 3% HP is higher than you can achieve. Marching speed and honor. You get 3 combats in the same skin. You never even really need to change skins. It's going to be broken. Now, getting it is, like it says, a popularity contest. You're probably the biggest whales, the most popular people on your server are going to be the ones getting this. I believe it's going to be 1 per server. I could be wrong on that. We'll kind of see what happens when it comes out. But you're going to need to get likes. You're going to have to purchase rose packages. It's going to be a whole thing. It's going to be expensive, even if you are the most popular. But we'll see what kind of comes of this. And the final piece is just optimizations. Some people were getting stuck, not able to buy their 60 fragments. You will be able to open a buyback store, but be careful because each stone can only be bought back 60 times per account, which means if you buy back like 60 and then you still want the skill, you're gonna be out of luck. They even kind of make a little joke, use this feature wisely. So last 2 things, faction selection period is now 72 hours instead of 24. And you are not allowed to migrate when selection begins. So that could change some timings for people who like to jump just before they see, but we'll see how that works as well. And the final thing is removing gem requirements for gem talents. I actually like this a lot. Just a quick example, when I'm on my one lord talent, I wanted to change to recruitment training speed instead of the healing one, but if I do, I have to click the reset. I gotta change it all, pay 200 gems. It's very annoying. I hope that it fixes this problem. It's already way better than it was, but yeah, that's pretty much my patch rundown. I think there's a ton of good stuff. This might actually be one of the biggest patches we've had. This is bigger than like a new castle level. The new immortals could just completely shift the game on the way it's played. But yeah, if you guys like these kind of videos, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.